So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who's looking to grow your marketing capacity, if you've been feeling stuck, you've been feeling lost, hopeless, then you definitely should check out EmployeeEscapePlan.com, because Joe Nicasio helps people up-level their business. He's a stand for you to transform and get unstuck with whatever you're dealing with in business, and he's coached me. He's amazing. I highly recommend him. He's worked with Jay Abraham, mentored with him. He's spent like 25,000 hours in the world of business, marketing, and entrepreneurship, and he's just an amazing guy. So I highly recommend EmployeeEscapePlan.com. Let Joe know Chris sent you, and go see your results in your life transform. Cool or cool? Very cool. For the woman of the hour, Zhivi Williams is the CEO of LBX Fitness in Charlotte, North Carolina. LBX Fitness's mission is to help individuals transform their bodies by renovating their mind. She is a motivational speaker, author, accountability coach, NASM, certified women's fitness and nutrition specialist, and she has over 30 years of experience in fitness and has remained on the cutting edge of the health, wellness, and fitness industry by developing training programs to help people improve their lives, writing magazine articles, blogs, books, and developing strategic partnerships to help individuals increase their personal health. She is the author of Who Needs a Gym? Using Social Media for Weight Loss, and the 30 Days to a Fabulous You workbook, which can be purchased on lbxfitness.com. Zhivi, you ready to rock this? Bam! She is! She be! Woo! There we go. Busting onto the big screen. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today and sharing your time, which is very valuable. All of our time is valuable. Sharing it with our audience. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes. Awesome. So we're going to dive in today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about your journey. We're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about all these kinds of amazing things. And before we get there, the theme of today is the holiday season. So Zhivi, how have you related to the holiday season? Was there any time in your life where you didn't really like the holidays, and how did you transform that? How did you step into the holidays and really get the most out of them from that experience?
Well, it's kind of funny. If I'm going to be honest about it, it's actually gone backwards.
Oh.
So growing up, like any other kid, I'm excited about Christmas, and I'm excited about the holidays. It was always about Christmas, not so much Thanksgiving, but always about Christmas and doing things, and of course always getting gifts. And it's kind of like the older I got, I think from childhood, it's really weird. We used to do the tree and all this other stuff, and as we got older, my mom stopped wrapping our gifts, and then we would come down, there would just be a pile of stuff right under the tree. Okay. And so they would say, that's your pile. There was no surprise. And one of the things I had started not to like was taking the stuff down. I enjoy putting it up, but I do not like taking it down at all. And so over the years, I have just not put things up just because I didn't like to take them down. And the funny thing is, though, my husband is very, very big into the holiday season and wanting to put the thing, putting up lights and putting up the tree, and wherever I go, it's always that atmosphere, and people are excited, and I'm happy, and I don't, it's just like, gosh, I just really don't want to take it down. And then I have dogs, and they tend to get into things like Christmas trees. You come home and there's stuff all over the place. So but I love the holiday season. I really do. Plus, my mom's birthday is on Christmas. So how could I not like?
Wow. That's awesome.
Yes. And so, but I do. I love what it represents, just from Thanksgiving to Christmas to the New Year. I love what it represents, family, fun times. And so, just thinking, what can I do to improve on myself? So there's so many awesome things about the holiday season. And I will say this, for Thanksgiving, I actually didn't go anywhere. And what I enjoyed this year for Thanksgiving was sleeping all day.
Yes. Relax, recharge. Thank God.
And I literally probably slept the majority of the day away. Like I would literally wake up and I cooked, like just cooked something small, like cooked for the house, and that was it.
All right.
I would get up and I ate, and I'd be like, I think I'm just gonna go back to sleep. And it was just about getting sleep and rest. And apparently my body thought this was a really good idea.
Yep.
So, that was probably one of the better Thanksgivings I've had, because I did not go out and run around and do anything.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Zhivi, that was beautiful. And I love how you shared like the real, like, hey, listen, I hate taking stuff down. It's a pain in the butt. And all the joy that comes with it too. I love it. How you shared that was perfect. And thank you for sharing that. Great start to the interview. And we did have a fan out there, Sierra Lewis, say hello.
Hey, Sierra.
Awesome. So we're going to dive in, and, like, you're doing all these amazing things, LBX Fitness, you're teaching people, training people. Life's great, right? Life's going great. And of course, there's always room for improvement. And, we really want to get our audience connected to some challenges, some things that, haven't really worked, where you felt stuck, stop spinning your wheels, and just weren't getting where you wanted to go. So why don't you take us back to some of those moments, or one of those moments where you just felt like things weren't working for you. It was kind of difficult, or really difficult, and you didn't know what to do.
Sure. I have a couple different things, things I've been through. So one is back in 2011, 2000, and 2005, I had become pregnant. And at 34 weeks, I lost both babies. So I had two boys and lost them both. And the very first time, my blood pressure was actually 218 over 186.
Wow.
Like stroke territory, right? And I had no symptoms. But the funny thing was, I wasn't worried about it. I didn't get distressed about it. And then the second time, so let me just say this. So I am 44. So if you count back, it's like 2011, I was in my 30s, 2005, I was in my 30s also. And so the thing now, because I've lost you and I've gotten a little bit older, and people have said, do you want to have kids? And, I'm always on the fence just because I'm getting older, right? And so I had someone say to me the other day, oh yeah, but you're in really good shape. And I said to her, I said, yeah, I am. And I looked at her son, who was like 3 or 4, right? And I said, but at 50, I'm gonna have a 5-year-old. And I see how your son is running around here. I don't know.
You gotta keep up.
At 50, I got to keep 50, and plus I got to keep up. She's like, yeah, and that never slows down. And I was just like, So there's that part of me that's always on the fence about, because my husband, he has a daughter, and she will be 18 next year, but we don't have any children together.
Right. And
he is the last one to bring on the family name, carry the family name on. So there's kind of like that pressure there also.
Yeah.
I kind of face some of that as well, but still, because of those losses, my body has been through some trauma.
Yeah.
And then, getting pregnant and not trying to worry about, okay, at 34 weeks, am I going to lose another one?
Right. Yeah.
So then there's that. Now, business-wise, I started my business in 2014 officially, and between 2014 and 2017, I have the story. I have come more into the business, done more things, and sometimes people ask me, well, how did you start your business? And I said, well, I was asleep, and basically God woke me up and told me to start this business. And I said, I was so excited. I said, oh, yeah, that's really great. Now, I do work full time. So I was like, yeah, that's great. And so I started doing that. I started reaching out and, doing a lot of stuff on social media. And then I started doing some speaking engagements. And for the speaking engagements, I had one time. And this is where I was going to give up on the business. I mean, I was so wanted to cry. I had people that registered for the event. I had someone say that they were going to come to the event. They were going to bring other people to the event. And I was so excited because I drove like 2 hours or 2.5 hours to do the event. And I get there and I had to pay for the room, and one person showed up. And I did the event anyway. She was great. She ended up being one of my clients. I love her to death. And I drove back, and when I was driving back, I was so disappointed, and was so frustrated. And I got home and I said, I'm just going to go to bed and go to sleep because I didn't know what else to do. I was so frustrated. I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I kind of was like, it is just not worth it. It's just really not the amount of time, not the amount of money, not the amount of effort I put into this. I just can't do it anymore. I just was like, it's just not worth it to me. And when I woke up and was thinking these things, it was kind of like God was saying to me, but why are you doing this? Right? Why are you doing this? I mean, why is this your business? Right. And basically I spoke back to God and said, because you told me to do it, kind of being a start out. You said so I did it.
Say mine.
Hey. So I said, but then I did some more thinking about it. And I said, well, I'm doing this because I really want to see people's lives change, health-wise. I really want to see that. And I remember watching a video one day, and I remember someone in the video, the guy was saying, you have to know what your why is. And your why has to be so strong that no matter what happens, you do not give up on your why, right? And that is honestly what keeps me going. Regardless of the ups, the downs, the money, the no money, the some money, the yes, the money, the book writing, the, selling, the trying to figure it all out and, not getting where I want to be. All of that, I think about why I do this. And I think that is so important, not just business-wise, but even health-wise. Like, why do you want to lose weight? You can say that about, you can use the why to anything. Right? It could be in any area of your life. Like, why do you want to lose weight? And that why has to be so strong to make you keep going on the journey, regardless of if you fall down, you get back up. If I ate chips or fried food, so what? I'm going to lose this weight. I want to get off this blood pressure medicine, or I don't want to have another heart attack. I don't want to have a stroke. My why, the why in business also has to be just so strong that you're like, I refuse to give up. And at this point in my business, I'm so happy I did not give up, because I reflect and I say, oh my gosh, all the people's lives I've touched up to this point. If I had given up, I would not have touched those lives, So those are kind of
real quick before we go any further. You and myself and everyone listening right now, just like soak that in, like whatever capacity you're at, wherever you're at, whether you have $1 million business where you like have no idea what the heck you're doing, you feel like you're spinning your wheels, regardless, you've made a difference for people. So like allow your ego to stop like deflecting that for a second and be like, you're not there yet. And just like, just breathe it in. Just like, wow, like I'm making a difference. I'm like doing something that's I'm up to things in life. Like I'm someone who is making a difference. I'm someone who's like, I don't want to say important, but like you are a soul who matters, because what you want helps people. What you want is important to you, and that's really all that matters. So I love that. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, I think regardless of what area it's in, health and fitness, business, I think we look at other people and we see where they're at now, but we don't realize what their journey was to get there. And I remember some comedians saying, they're successful comedians now, they are great comedians. They're very successful. But I remember them saying for years, like people were I had to sleep in my car. I got booed off stage. So you don't know the journey. And that's basically where probably a lot of us are. We're on that journey until we reach what we would consider to possibly be successful on the journey. And so all these people have gone through, all we see is the end result, right? But we have no clue what they did. Some of them do express and say, but we don't know. And so that's another thing to think about. Oh, well, I see Oprah Winfrey, she's this multi-millionaire, billionaire. But what did she have to go through, to get there? People should read people's biographies. Take a look at those people, Even for you, Chris, I mean, and even for me, people don't know our full stories on how we got here. People don't know, I might have lost my job. If you, the owner of Apple, Steve Jobs, how many times did he fail? How many times did people fall down before they reached the goal? Right? They just never gave up on their why.
That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. What a great start to this talk. And really the whole theme of today is being a master of your destiny. So that mastery of what life looks like, what it means, what you create, what the experience that your soul goes through, that's going to take some falling and getting bruised up and beat up and challenges.
Oh yeah. And a good way to look at that is, especially people that have kids, right? So if you have kids and when they're little and they start to walk, what do? They fall down a lot. They don't even cry. They fall down and they get back up. They may use the table. They may use a chair. They may use you. They fall down, but they get back up until they have mastered walking.
Yes.
And then,
yes.
So they are great examples of trying to reach a goal without giving up.
Yeah, that's it. So, we really appreciate you sharing when you felt stuck, when you felt fall down and not know how to get back up, not know what to do next. And now we really want to figure out when did you finally, I don't want to say finally, because maybe we're all still dealing with it, the purpose, the why, owning it for wholeheartedly, right? But when did you really step into that this is the decision for me? I know you mentioned you kind of went back and you had that another conversation with God, so to speak, and was it then that you felt the rest is kind of just taking steps forward, or were there other times where you doubted yourself and didn't really didn't trust the process, you questioned it, anything like that come up?
I think that the conversation with God after that is what kind of really put me on the path of, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
I have not necessarily had any thoughts of giving up or stopping. But I will say it has been frustrating at times. And probably like anybody else. So not so much as giving up, but definitely frustrating. And because I'm not very knowledgeable on certain areas, or I struggle, for example, it's weird, but I struggle with determining on how much to charge someone, right? Because what I do, I love, and I would give it away for free.
Yeah.
As a business owner, you cannot do that and give it away for free. So there's some frustration in that, because I'm not going to say I don't have a business mindset, as I'm growing closer to having more of a business mindset. But that is, some people are just very business mindset. And so for me, I have to learn where other people, it's just natural for them to learn how to do these things. And so it's all about trying to figure out those little things, marketing and anything else, and trying to figure out how to do that when you don't have enough money, right? How do I get all this stuff done? Or what can I do? How can I get the advice? What books can I read? And we're not even mentioning time, right? Because when do I find time to do this? When do I find time to read a book? And when do I find time to do whatever else I'm doing? So it hasn't been so much that I've wanted to give up or stop. It's just been frustrating, but knowing that I just will keep going.
How do you deal with the time conversation? I know for me personally, I'm very challenged with that one. How do you deal with that? How do you stay empowered around that? She's like,
yeah, it's very difficult. I am on vacation now, and I've been on kind of vacation since Monday, and I feel like I have done absolutely nothing. I've done things, but not the things I've needed to do, and I have the time, but it's now the time is filled with a couple other things. And so just so that everybody knows how my day is, I go to bed at 8:00 at night, right? Wow. So even on the weekends, if I have nothing else, I'm going to sleep. My body's used to being sleepy at 7:30. I go to bed at 8. I'm usually up at 2:30, 3:00 in the morning, right? Yes, early bird. And so then I get up. It takes me about an hour or so to get functional.
Yeah.
And then I work out first thing in the morning. I do a Facebook Live workout at like 4:15, depends on the time. And then I do my own workout, right? So that's kind of like a warm up. And then I do my workout. And then because I work full time, I go to work.
Wow.
And then I work till 5 o'clock. It takes me 40 minutes to drive home from work. And then I get home at 7 o'clock. I have to deal with my dogs. It's 6 o'clock. I have to deal with my dogs. I have to eat. And by 7 o'clock, like I have an hour window before I go to sleep. So it's like, in that hour, what am I doing? Like, and I don't have cable. So I just have what I call Air TV. I just have an antenna, right? So I have an hour time, and I've tried to do some reading. And if I read, I get very, very sleepy. And then I'm going to sleep anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, then my weekends, sometimes my Saturdays are like the regular work week. So it has been very difficult. I literally have to force myself to carve out time. And it's, like I tell people about fitness and working out, you literally have to make an appointment with yourself. You have to make an appointment because there's so much to do in so little time.
Yeah.
Especially when you have deadlines. So yeah, time is an issue.
I love it. This is perfect. Because I'm dealing with this time scarcity mindset. It's like scarcity, right? Like living in this world of not enough, need more, and nurturing. That self-nurturing is so important. Like taking care of ourselves. And it sounds like Sunday is your day for doing that, for really taking care of yourself, which is awesome. And then the other thing is I've been dealing with this too, and creating a new identity for myself around time, right? So who have I been in the past around time? I don't have enough time, like I don't know how to fit it into my schedule. I'm working too much, don't have enough time to make these calls, don't have enough time to, build these relationships, all these excuses and justifications. So I've been really focused on creating a new identity around myself, nurturing myself, around time, around money, around everything, all of it, right? So what is an identity that you can start creating, a new way of being, a new way of seeing yourself with time, about time, around time? And for everyone listening, think about this as well. What's an area you're stopped in, whether it's scarcity for money, time, people, whatever, resources, energy, whatever, right? Maybe you have too much time and you don't have enough clients, you don't have enough followers, you don't have enough whatever, right? So what's a new identity that you can create around that? So for example, let's say you don't have enough followers or enough clients. Let's say you're a magnet, right? Like the identity is I'm a magnet to these things that I want. So Zhivi, what's an identity that you can create around time, just so we can, add some value to you here while you're on the interview? You can declare it. We're going to hold you accountable to being this from now on.
Exactly. That's why I need some accountability.
Yes.
So I think for myself, the identity around time, that's almost a stumper. Let's see. Yeah. I would definitely, I think to kind of start off for myself when it comes to time, I really would probably need to look at where's all my time going? Okay. Like what is consuming my time? Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like I know what consumes my time during the week, but really honestly, what's consuming my time on a Saturday? What's consuming that time? And one of the things, which is weird, but one of the things for me and my identity is networking. Yeah. And I need to be I need to do a better job at networking, which means I have to get out and go places, right?
Yeah. And maybe that is a paradigm that's not serving you. Maybe that is a restriction, a box that you've created based on expectations, based on comparison, based on society, what society says, that's how things are supposed to happen. Maybe you meet people walk into your car after you're getting out of work, Like, okay, so with that in mind, what's a new identity that you can create around who I am is blank? Who I am is someone who attracts clients to me at all times. Who I am is, you mentioned time, being aware of your time. Like, where's it all going, right?
Right. So I honestly like what you just said in that I am someone that attracts clients to me.
Yeah.
And I love that, because with what you just said and me saying networking doesn't have to always mean I'm going to an event. Networking can mean I meet someone at my car. I meet someone. When it's nice out, when I'm working and it's nice outside, I walk. So I could be meeting and networking people while I'm walking. And I think the key to that is opening my mouth.
Okay, so what's an identity that you create around being vocal with your services and what you have to offer?
So that identity would be I am whoa.
Own it. Own it. Own it.
I am, let me think here. Not just I am a magnet and I draw people to me. So I am a magnet. I draw people to me. I draw people to me that are attracted to, almost kind of like attracted to the vibe I give off.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody gives off some kind of vibe, I think.
Yeah.
So like I see somebody and some people are just really, you just are kind of like, oh, people just talk to you. My husband tells me that all the time. People just walk up to you and they talk to you. I mean, they do. They just talk to you. And it's not that I start a conversation, but but it's like I attract people to me that are interested in what I do. Or they're attracted to me because they see something in me that I possibly may not even see in myself. But there's something about me that they see that they want to come and talk to me about, which in turn then I talk to them and then I could tell them about my business. So I am definitely a magnet. And with that magnet, that allows me to then talk to someone about my business.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So I hear power around the attraction. Now let's create power around what happens when they start a conversation with you. So who you are could be like you're so proud of what you do for people, and people clearly, quickly, and openly receive what you have to offer, and they say yes instantly. Boom.
So let me see. So around that, we're creating an identity around that, right? So around that identity is I am the person that helps people successfully reach their goals.
Yes. And if you're walking around as that person, how do you relate to others? How do people relate to you?
So how I relate to other people is that I get to share how I reach my goals, either business or in the health and wellness and fitness area, which then would encourage them to say, to me, I think it's encouraging for them then to say, oh, okay, if I share my story and then they say, oh, well, then I can reach my goals as well. Because honestly, when I talk to people, I don't talk to them about, when it comes to health, wellness, and fitness, I talk to them about taking it one day at a time, taking baby steps, and not trying to do things like, if you want to become vegan or vegetarian, you don't have to do that cold turkey. Your body's going to be so mad at you. So why not do this slow? And I might say, hey, why don't you start off one day a week and just do either one vegan meal, or you do one whole day and you do vegan meal. And it's a process, and then you reach your goals that way. So in the conversation that we would have, it's about, okay, here is an example of how I can help you reach your goal. And then that would make sense to them.
They believe in themselves. Like your conversation sparks a new belief, a new identity in themselves, so that they can create the results that they want one step at a time.
Say, oh, you're right. I don't have to do it all at once. I can do that. I can do one day a week. I can do one day a week, and then, then we progress from there.
Yes. Great job. Awesome. 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 I love it. I love it. I love it. So for everyone listening, there was so much gold there. You know, like we created a new identity for Zhivi, and we said, how does she show up in the world? Who is she? She attracts people. Okay, once people get there, then what? Right? What's the ultimate end destination? Well, we want to make a difference in people's lives. Zhivi wants to give her services to people because she knows they make a difference. And just attracting people doesn't get people through the door, right? Like that just opens the door for people, but hey, you know, like they got to walk through the door. So how do they walk through the door? Well, they see that it's possible, one day at a time. And who Zhivi is you can do this because I've done it. Just take one step at a time. They're like, one step at a time? I've never seen it that way. Yes, I'm signing up. Let's go.
Yes.
Cool. And that's what everyone can do for your business, your life, your goals. It's so possible. And I love this one step at a time mindset. Zhivi, how did you come upon this? How did you really start to embody this and live that in your life and teach it to people?
Well, one of the things I did was for my business, I kind of did some research, and I asked, from the research I did, a lot of people were saying they just they knew what they wanted to do, they knew what they needed to do, but they needed someone to hold them accountable. Mm-hmm. And so, in conversations with people, and them wanting an accountability partner, because that's what then I ended up being.
Yep.
In the conversation, I would always hear people say things like, you know, when it comes to weight loss, everybody wants to lose 50 pounds yesterday. Mm-hmm. When it took years to put 50 pounds on. Mm-hmm. And so, or people are literally addicted to sugar, right? So there's a study that says sugar is more addicting than cocaine.
Yep. And
so people would say things like, well, you know, I really want to work out 5 days a week. And my question to them next would be, well, how many days do you work out now? Right? So if it's 0, right? If I'm not working out any, or I work out 1 day a week, then I ask them the question, is that realistic? Is 5 days realistic with you? I want you to think about the time you have. Are you going to be able to go? So honest, then I say, just be honest, truthful with me. How many days can you go realistically? And then they may say, I could go 2 days. And then I say, okay, so you could go 2 days a week. That's a great start. For how long? Because it's like 5 days a week and out for an hour each day. But is that realistic? Right? So that's how I started that. That's how it all, because then I'd ask them, so is an hour realistic? Some people would say, yeah. Some people, no, maybe like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, so that's what we started. 2 days a week for 20 minutes. And then I may even get a little bit deeper. Like, so what are you going to do in those 20 minutes? Are you going to walk the treadmill? You know, so these are many goals, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, that's great. You're taking like even more granular. Like, okay, so where is the gym at? Okay, so you turn on. What's the turn? You know, where do you go? Like, tell me what it's like when you walk through the doors. What are you gonna feel? You know, they walk through the doors. They like check in, whatever. Okay, and then what's the first machine you go to? Like, what's your intention for the day? What do you want to feel while you're working out? What do you want the outcome to be? How do you want to feel at the very end? When you pace people through that experience, like it's real. You know, like they're playing it in their mind. So as a coach, we get to do that for people to like make them live that reality before it's even happened, which is an amazing, amazing process that we have the gift of doing.
Yes. I love it. I love that. And then I get to check on them.
Yep.
Reach these goals. How many times did you go to the gym this week?
Yep.
How long did you go?
Yep.
Checking in. Did you forget?
Yeah.
So it's always, for me, it's about the baby steps. Even when it comes to meal prepping, people are like, I just can't meal prep it. Everybody's different. I'm not going to eat leftovers. Like 5 days a week, I can't eat all. And I tell them, I said, you don't have to. I said, you can start meal prepping by just cooking too much food. And so now you have another meal the next day. Yep. So now you have 2 meals. You start there. Yep. My husband does not, he'll eat leftovers one day and that's it. I mean, me, I'll eat the same food for 5 days.
Yep.
At all, not at all. Yep. But so you have to be able to do the things that is fitting for yourself, not what other people do. You know, so if you don't meal prep, you don't like to eat, then don't do that. You just say, okay, I'm going to cook XYZ for dinner and I'll eat this for lunch tomorrow. There. Now you don't have to know. That's it. So you cook the next day, but at least you'll have lunch for the following day or dinner or something like that.
Yeah. Awesome. So we got some clear ideas on how to take those baby steps with meal prepping, with exercising just a little bit more. Awesome stuff. And the next question I have is in terms of what you see as possible for yourself, like how you've really taken on these new ideas, because you weren't always so open and receptive, and you might have been like closed off to trying new things. So why don't you tell us about a time where you were like more closed to doing something? You received advice, you got the knowledge, but you really just weren't open yet, and then you had to go through something, and then you're like, oh, I finally get it. Can you share something like that with us?
Oh my gosh, I have so many stories. So it's so funny. So my husband will give me advice. He's giving me advice in the past, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't know why. It's just kind of like, for example, I do these Facebook Live videos, and before I started doing them, my husband said, "Babe, you should do some videos." And I was like, I'm not doing videos. I don't want to do videos. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to be. I don't want to do that. I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't, not doing videos, and. And so I started, I was doing 30-day challenges with somebody else on Facebook. And I said, hey, I wonder if I do a video, if people would join me and do the videos, right? And so that is how I started with the video thing. And even with doing that, I thought to myself, I said, okay, I had no clue what I was doing. Like, I'm just going to press record. And I started off doing this whole wave thing, right? Like, hey, how you doing? Like, and so I did it a couple times, and I felt so silly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the stupidest thing. I'd be like, I'm going to stop doing that. Like, I'm going to stop doing this whole wave thing and saying that. And I did, like, I stopped like for maybe once, like 1 or 2 times. And then somebody said, hey, why did you stop waving? And I was like, yeah, I like the wave. And then people would say, oh, that's like your signature. Like whenever I see that, I know it's time to work out, right? I was like, this wave is so stupid though. Like I felt like an idiot doing the wave. And then everybody I talked to was like, but that's your signature. Like you got to keep doing it. And the guy that cuts my grass is like, my daughter walks around the house and like, does the wave. And I'm like, what is going on? Wait. So I mean, starting from not doing anything and then being a little bit more comfortable with doing it, and then having to tell my husband, and he's like, babe, I told you, so it's always kind of like, for me personally, and I've had to tell him before, like he'll give me certain advice. And at the time, it's just, or either it's the way he says it. I tell him a lot of times, it's just the way you're presenting the material, because someone else can tell me something like the same thing in a different way. And then I do it. And then he gets frustrated because he's like, but I told you to do that. That's what I said. Sometimes it's just the way you present it. And somebody else presented it different. And then I was able to do that.
Yeah.
I was able to do it. But sometimes it's just a place where I'm at. Like I may be more comfortable right now. Like right now, I'm just, me saying no is probably because I'm uncomfortable. Or I don't want to do it because I'm uncomfortable doing that. Or I'm just not in the right mind frame or mindset to do that. And so then I may be doing other things, and then someone else then comes and kind of waters that seed. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can try that. Let me try that and see how that works. And so that's like, my sister is the same way. She'll give me advice, and then they want to know, well, you should at least tell me that you tried it or something. And I always say, I'm not telling them anything, because then I got to hear, oh, well, I told you. Or so I share it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But yeah, like the video thing was huge for me. I was so uncomfortable. I was always worried about what people were going to think about me on camera. oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up. I'm not going to have any, I'm going to forget what to say. And now I'm just so comfortable in front of the camera. And I don't care if I mess up. It's kind of hard to work out and have a script in front of you. So you can't work out and have a script on camera.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
And so, especially when you're doing something live. And I own dogs, and my dogs are in the videos. Like, they become a staple in the videos, and and so I really went from being scared and not knowing what to do, and from that suggestion from my husband, and then doing it, and now being a lot more comfortable with not just doing, but who I am on camera and what I present to people, and giving them even just advice, and talking. People are like, how do you talk and work out? I don't know, but sometimes I forget the numbers.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So you were camera shy before, you're closed off to getting out there, getting the message out there, and now you're like rocking it, and it's just like unconscious, and boom, go.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Cool.
I
cool.
feel like in life, it doesn't hurt to try something. If you fail at it, it's okay. At least you tried it, and you may not fail huge at it, but then you may be like, oh, this kind of worked. Let me make some tweaks. And you never know where that takes you.
Yeah. Just got to trust that taking steps forward, regardless how big, regardless how small, even if you feel like it's not in the exact direction you want to be going, just keep taking those steps and you'll get there.
Yes,
awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. So in terms of like really dreaming, right? We love talking about dreams. We love talking about a vision for our life. What are some big dreams that you're fulfilling? What does 2018 have in store for you? What are you creating? What's really in the realm of possibility that you're out to create?
So it's so funny that you would say that, because I have had this repeated dream, or kind of like this repeated vision, and and it's always the same. I got it some years ago before I had even started my business. I honestly thought it was for something completely different. And I saw myself, literally, I'm gonna fall. I saw myself, sorry.
The Bosu ball.
Yoga balls. I'm sitting on my yoga balls. So I saw myself on stage talking. But not only did I see myself on stage talking, but I saw myself on stage talking at my own event. And it was kind of like in an arena, like a football stadium, but it was indoors. So it's more like a basketball arena, but it was like big. It was on stage and people were there, and I was talking about what I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing, and like even now I can visually see myself. I'm a very visual person. I can see myself on the stage with the podium and people talk, and then me talking to people. And so that has always been there, and I've always wanted to be a speaker. And so like one of my goals for 2018 is to speak more when it comes to health, wellness, and fitness, and just to motivate people to continue. So I already have a few things lined up as far as speaking, but it doesn't necessarily mean I have to speak in public. I mean, in public. But like I could do more interviews, and I could, do things online. And so not to limit myself to just only saying, oh, I want to speak at venues, which is great, or speak at an event, but to open that window up. So that's definitely one of my goals. Another goal I have is to do some more, to have some more fitness programs. So for example, I will be running 2 programs at January 1st.
Wow.
A 21-day program and a 6-week program. And so I'm looking forward to doing more of those. It's a lot of work up front. And people wouldn't know that. And then they probably try to figure out, well, why do you charge so much? Because if you really knew what I had to put into getting this all put together, creating videos and doing all kinds of stuff, creating documentation, sending it to copyright, paying for that, and giving you basically almost 100% of me to help you reach your goals, but to do more programs. And also I need to sit down next week and just kind of map out more things, like how many books I want to sell next year. think about, I don't know if I'm going to write a new book or not, but I just thought about the other day, oh man, I should update my book to say this other thing, to say something else. And so I know one huge goal is I am going to take a certification class. So, some educational things, reading more books. I have a stack of books. So, I got some reading to do, and probably read a few that I've read in the past. So those are some of the goals. But like speaking is huge for me. Yeah. I love it. I love to be able to encourage and motivate people just to keep going, and knowing that, hey, if you fall down, it's okay. You can get back up. It's a journey, and it's a lifestyle journey. And I tell people all the time, your health journey is like your regular life journey. In life, you have not given up, and you've probably been through a lot. People have been through so much in their life, but in your life, you have not given up. You may have been down, but you've gotten back up. You didn't have a job, but you may have been without a job for a while, but you got back up, and you just keep going. And maybe you've been to jail, but you haven't given up. You just keep going. So your healthy lifestyle journey is the same way. It's for life, not like I reach a goal and then I stop. As a business owner, you don't just say, okay, I'm going to make $100,000 in my business, and then I'm just going to stop. So like that's my goal, and to keep people going, and
cool,
and to also have more clients. I would love to do my business full time. I would love to go into.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. That's 2018. That's the objective. That's the goal. That would mean everything to you, right?
Oh, that would. I mean, that would be like, perfect. I am going to start another business next year, my sister and I. And so that may be what takes me out of where I am, and awesome. And being able to do that more full time.
Sweet. I love it. I love it. So tell our audience, we got, probably about 10 minutes left or so. Tell our audience about a time that you made like a really wise decision and you were proud of yourself.
I would say definitely the best decision I have made up until this point is not giving up on my business. Honestly, that has been the best decision I have probably made. Besides, like my healthy lifestyle journey, right? So besides that was also a really great. Those two decisions have been the best two I have made, but not giving up on my business, and then seeing the amount of people that have reached in that, and also just starting my healthy lifestyle journey and what I've learned and been able to pass that information on. And I tell people I struggle. Like, I'm a donut junkie, although I have not eaten donuts since August. I'm just really, really proud of myself. Like, that's huge accomplishment for me. Like, but letting people know, hey, this is me, and this is, I get it, and I get on camera and I tell people, I don't even call it a mess up. I just say, hey, I ate that. I'm gonna give
no judgment.
Yeah, none at all. I didn't feel like working out today, and so I didn't. I didn't feel like working out, and I went anyway. And so, but this lifestyle journey and not giving up on my business, definitely. I mean, there's other things, but those really are two of the major things I'm happy that I did and I started.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell us real quick, what do you want our audience taking away? What do you want us taking action on? How do you want us stepping up to the challenges of life, into life? Really, what do you want us receiving from this interview and taking action on?
Okay, so what I really want everybody to take away is to not give up. Whatever your journey is, you do not want to give up. So the action would definitely be to write down your goals. What goals you want to reach, but not just what goals, but realistically, and give them a realistic time frame. So you write your goals, make them realistic. Look at them and say, hey, can I honestly reach this goal by this date? I like to do like a 1 month goal, a 3 month goal, a 6 month goal. You have your 12, your yearly goals. But realistically, what do those goals look like? And can you honestly reach them? So you want to do some goal setting. Also, don't give up. I don't care what happens, and don't let anyone else discourage you.
Yeah.
To give up.
Yep.
People will see you growing and it's like crabs in a bucket. They'll want to pull you back down. And sometimes even unknowingly, they do that. You have to be strong. You have to be able to fight. And the last thing is definitely to know your why. Why is it that you're doing what you're doing? And is it strong enough to keep you going? If it's not, if your why is not strong enough to keep you going, then take a look at your why. Maybe you need a different why to keep you going.
It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Zhivi, how do people stay connected with you?
Yeah, so you can stay connected with me through social media. On Facebook, it's Zhivi Williams, so Zhivi. Last name is Williams. Also, LBX Fitness is on Facebook, as well as on Twitter and also YouTube. And my website is www.lbxfitness.com.
Awesome. And you mentioned some programs that you're starting in January, right?
I did. So I won't mention them now because they're full.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I filled them up.
Good.
But
good.
Yes,
Thank you. Good.
But what people can do is they can visit my website to purchase my book, Who Needs a Gym? Using Social Media for Weight Loss. The book is 220 pages worth of awesome content to give people a way to lose weight, to reach their goals without having to go to the gym. Also, my accountability workbook, 30 Days to a Better You, is on the website for $10. It's a download. They can go there also to purchase either the workbook and or the book. So
beautiful.
Awesome.
Awesome. Zhivi, you're a superstar. So grateful. We are so grateful. Thank you for sharing your journey with us, even when we don't know what's next, even when we don't know why we're getting these inspirations and messages and like telling us to keep going, even though it feels like we're hitting brick walls and like, oh my gosh, like life just isn't working. You are an inspiration, and your testimony, your story, your journey is inspiring us right now, and will continue to inspire the heck out of people as you share it more and more and refine it and grow. And I'm excited to see over the coming years how things evolve for you, and just know that I'm your partner in making your success happen. So just let us know what you need. Everyone, go follow Zhivi. Like, her workouts, her energy is amazing. You'll get more of that, and you'll have a lot of fun because you have fun, and I love it when people have fun.
Well, thank you, Chris, for having me on the show. You're great. I loved it. So thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome. And hey, your identity. We live in a world of abundance, magnetism. Love it. Everyone out there, we're magnets to success and abundance and clients and all the amazing things that we want. So have the best day ever, Zhivi, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, you too.
Awesome. Take care.